important information about anesthesia perioperative. As future understand this, we hope after this education, you guys realize that anesthesia and surgical, they are not as scary as many people think. Before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Meisa, and there is my friend.
My name is
My name is Oriza Inas.
My name is Syahrul.
And my name is Octavia Hikmatulail.
So, let's get started! This is our material agenda. We have 6 material agenda. They are introduction anesthesia, perioperative phase, intraoperative phase, postoperative phase, benefit and risks of anesthesia, and the last one is patient preparation and tips. For you guys that don't know what anesthesia is, so anesthesia is medical procedure of eliminating pain and consciousness during surgical procedure. There are 3 types of anesthesia. First, general anesthesia, second, regional anesthesia, and the last one is local anesthesia. 3 of them have their own difference. Like general anesthesia give effect of making patient is fully unconscious, and while regional anesthesia numb a specific region of the body, and local anesthesia only a small localized is numb, and the operation use general anesthesia. For example, is like appendectomy, craniotomy, and mastectomy. And the surgery using regional anesthesia, for example, is Caesar section, total knee replacement, and inguinal hernia repair. And for local anesthesia, surgery using local anesthesia, for example, is skin lesion excision, dental tooth extraction, and wound suturing. So, let us watch short video about general anesthesia. In general anesthesia, we usually use endotracheal intubation for the procedure. This is give effect for the patient is fully unconscious. And the next video is us practicing regional anesthesia to the patient. Regional anesthesia is making numb a part of body, some part of the body. We injected drug into the back of patient. So the last video is for using local anesthesia in surgery. They are tooth surgery.
Okay, the first one is preoperative phase. Number 1 is screening and lab test. In this one, we are test like blood test, ECG, and physical examination are performed to assess the patient condition and fitness for anesthesia. Number 2 is fasting rule or NPO. The patient are required to fast for 6 until 8 hours before surgery to reduce the risk of aspiration during anesthesia. Number 3 is informed consent. The surgeon explains the procedure risk and benefit, and the patient provide informed consent. And the last is physiological prep. We are preparation including anxiety reduction and preoperative instruction. Okay, the next is intraoperative phase. Number 1 is anesthesia delivery. Anesthesia is administered according to the type of surgery and the patient needs. And number 2 is vital sign monitor. We are monitoring like blood pressure, ECG, and oxygen saturation, and temperature are continuously monitored to ensure patient safety. And number 3 is sterility and surgical timeout. The surgical team confirm the patient identity, procedure, and surgical site while maintaining a sterile environment. Okay, the next is post-operative phase. Finally, the post-operative phase focus on recovery after surgery. And number 1 is PACU monitoring. Patients are closely monitored in the recovery room until the region conscious and their vital signs are stable. Number 2 is pain management. Pain is controlled using medication and other analgesic technique to improve comfort. Number 3 is early mobilization. Early movement is occurred to prevent complication and support recovery. And the last is discard criteria. Discard is patient might be discarded once their vital signs are stable and recovery goals have been achieved.
The next is benefits of anesthesia. Anesthesia provides so many important benefits during the surgery. First, it's complete pain-free procedure, so the patient doesn't feel any pain during the surgery. Second is physiological control. It helps maintain blood pressure, body temperature, heart rate, and other vital signs. Third is optimal surgical condition. It allowing the surgeon to perform the procedure effectively and safely. And the last is restoration of body function. With anesthesia, body function can be restored and anesthesia can improve the patient's quality of life. Next is the risks and complications of anesthesia. First is nausea and vomiting, or also called PONV, after the surgery. Second is hypothermia, or a decrease in body temperature. Third is respiratory problems like airway irritations. Fourth is allergic reaction to anesthetic drugs. Fifth is confusion or delirium after waking up from general anesthesia. And the last is thromboembolism or DVT. It's a blood clot in the leg due to prolonged immobility.
Move on to the next slide. We have patient preparation tips, especially for pre-operation. First, we have fasting. It means no food or drink from 6 until 8 hours. The second, we have stop smoking because we want to improve your lung function. And the third is document. Bring the lab result, X-ray, ID card, and informed consent. Fourth is medication. Inform the medication, herbs, or supplement that you take. The fifth is remove the accessories. Remove your jewelry and metal to ensure the patient's safety. And the last is companion. Family member accompany you and arrange transportation to go home. So next we have important question to ask your doctor. In this part, we want to show some example of what patient usually ask their doctor before surgery. For example, regarding the anesthesia and risk, patient often ask, "Doctor, what type of anesthesia is best suited for my surgery?" Or, "Are there any specific risks I might face given my medical condition?" Besides that, patients also need to ask about their recovery and medication, such as when it's safe for me to start eating and drinking again after surgery, and importantly is what are the warning signs I should watch out for immediately after surgery.
After the patient is discharged from the hospital, proper post-operative care at home is essential to support recovery and prevent complications. First, adequate rest. Patients should get enough sleep and avoid strenuous activities. Second, wound care. Keep the surgical site clean and dry to reduce the risk of infection. Third, medication adherence. Take prescribed medications as directed. Fourth, nutrition and hydration. Eat nutritious food and drink plenty of fluid. Fifth, gradual mobilization. Resume daily activities gradually as tolerated. Lastly is monitor for complications. Watch for fever, excessive bleeding, severe pain or sign of infection, and seek medical attention if needed. In conclusion, anesthesia care involves three perioperative phases: the preoperative, intraoperative, and postoperative phases. Each phase plays an important role in ensuring patient safety and achieving successful surgical outcomes. Although anesthesia carries certain risks, its benefits generally outweigh those risks when it is administered by trained professionals following established protocol. Patient preparation, including fasting or NPO status, pre-anesthetic assessment, and informed consent, is essential for reducing complications and improving safety.
So guys, our presentation is done. If you have any question, you can comment. Don't forget to like and share